time is running out. The XRP trade is about to take off, and you have little time to jump on if you're not on this train yet. It's unstoppable, and Ripple is behind the steering wheel. So I will show you why I think it's almost time for XRP to start going. We had the first massive run up, and now it's time after long consolidation for the next one. So look at this news that we got a few days ago, Friday actually. Ripple is set to raise at least 1 billion to purchase XRP. That's a massive amount. You could say, look at the market cap, that's not a lot. But if you know how much it actually requires to get the price moving, it's actually a lot of money. A few million already pumps the price to get bought on markets. But it's not just that. It means that they're actually interested in buying their own token back. And after a while, there's been a lot of criticism, and the haters always have been saying, oh, yeah, Ripple is just dumping their tokens on holders. So this news, this doesn't add up at all. So I believe, there's a good sign that the escrow is already signed for other usages, and they cannot really use that. So that's what you could say, right? Normally, they can just use escrow. Why would they buy XRP? It seems that they don't have enough, and they probably already have use cases for the escrow in reserves. So yeah, that's something we're going to talk about. We have more good news from the XRP and Ripple side. So let's dive into it. Here we have Unknown DLT. Shout out to him. He's posting a lot of good stuff, always on X. And he says, what I just said, basically, Ripple is dumping on retail. That's what you always hear. Everyone who listens to the haters will regret it. XRP will be the most valuable asset in the world. Ripple cannot use the escrow because, in my opinion, is already pre-allocated. It makes sense. Everybody must be ready for when they flip the switch. So yeah, it's a very interesting moment that now they are actually starting to raise money to buy such a large amount of XRP. After it already has kind of run, makes you think that we might be very close here. So very good news here from Ripple Labs. Then we have also, of course, the US banking charter license. Yes, Ripple has applied for that in the summer, and that's also set to be decided on this year. But that's another big one. It seems that they're actually ready. So they're just they're instead of they're just building the entire infrastructure, and for the things that they need, they have been purchasing other companies that I will show you in the next post. So this one from 16 October, you see some massive numbers here in Brad Cardinghouse Pros. The number of 120 trillion, which is absolutely insane. Ripple is breaking into the 120 trillion corporate treasury and payments market with the $1 billion acquisition of GTreasury. Past few years have reminded this industry why payments first and foremost is the primary use case for crypto and blockchain. Payments are where Ripple first started for exactly this reason. The infrastructure is complex, siloed, and inefficient, but as we know, perfectly positioned to benefit from decentralized final technologies. So yeah, this is a massive platform. I believe they paid, they paid $1 billion for this. So they're then buying massive companies left and right. So they're having the whole infrastructure, everything they need, and the things that they didn't have, they're just buying up the companies. Because you cannot, instead of fighting the competition, they're just buying up the competition. So this is a massive one. As you can see, GTreasury has been serving some of the well-known brands for decades. Now, together with Ripple, we'll be able to help CFOs manage all their assets, including stable coins, tokenized deposits that scale around the world. Then we have AI hopping in here. On the next. AI XBT shout out is actually a token linked to this one. But this is, there's been many AI agents all over the place on X, and most, a very limited way of doing actual research and saying helpful things. But AI XBT has been around for a long time. Check it out. It actually has some good research and some good reasoning uh, to make conclusions. So you see here, talked about the one bill for GTreasury, about 38 years of corporate relationships, managing trillions in cash flows. The CFO doesn't need to know what XRP is when their treasury software starts offering 6% stablecoin yield instead of 4% money market. On the 20 trillion corporate payment markets kept blockchain rails to the most foreign acquisition ever. Yeah, genius move for Brad to buy GTreasury. Then, I think everybody has forgot about it, but we have the ETFs coming. The ETFs coming, the deadlines, the decisions. You see here, there's many. We have 7 on this list. Actually, the intro here is kind of misleading because, as we know, the USA government is in a shutdown. That means they're not going to approve them right now, but this were the previous deadlines. So it all means simply that once this government shutdown is going to be over, it's going to be coming very quickly. And you see here some absolute big names. You have Grayscale, you have Bitwise, Canary, Templeton. These are the institutions. They are here. They are actually here. And there's nothing in the way that's stopping for these ETFs to get approved, in my opinion. So you see the success with ETFs for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, especially for Bitcoin, of course. It's just been massive inflows. Everybody was saying, this ETFs not really going to work. And this is going to be a real green light for institutions. So you might think, XRP is high now, above 100 billion, but this is nothing when you start to see massive inflows from these ETFs. When institutions get the actual green light, of course, they have been waiting for the lawsuit. That lawsuit fair is now over, but now we're on to the next one. That's the ETFs. So ETFs are coming. You don't want to be buying after they all get approved. You don't want to be buying that FOMO candle when you can buy before that. I'm just here to warn you guys. They are coming. But more partnerships they had. They had a lot. Excited to Black World Bottle, tokenized fund holder, so can redeem shares for Ripple LUSD. So also their stablecoin is starting to get actual adoption now on the core market cap. I think it's about a billion now. So you can see it in the top 100. You see Arrow USD, and so a lot of people were first thinking, "Oh yeah, what's gonna happen with Arrow USD? And why can't you not trade these pairs yet on exchanges? Or how did it fail?" But no, for now, this actually going institutional directly through BlackRock, and this is massive. This is just you see the liquidity for LUSD just growing. Started with 100 million or something, and now we're around a billion. I think this is only going to grow. And of course, this is actually free backed by USDC, by US dollars. I mean, and unlike with USDT, it's always the question what's actually going on and can we trust it? And that's not the case here with Arrow USD. So of course they have been buying up and just buying out companies left and right. With GTreasury, they also tried to get Circle in. Unfortunately, it didn't work. I think there was another big company that tried it, but none of them got it. And they did their IPO, and the Circle IPO was actually very successful. So it was, a real bummer for Ripple that they were unable to purchase it. I believe they offered several $billion. Circle was massive, so that would have been massive, of course, but unfortunately that was not the case. But there's no worries at all with their Arrow USD. We see adoption. They're taking place for institutions. Then we got Ripple Swell coming up, the biggest XRP event in just a matter of 2 weeks in New York. And I've actually, kept an eye on this. The times that Ripple Swell was happening, usually XRP started to have good price action. This is the biggest XRP event. And the same thing happens with Solana, with Breakpoint. It always starts to pop. And the same thing happens also for Ripple as well. I think the effect is a little bit less. But it just means we have, so much bullish outlooks ahead. And it's already holding up strong after the market crash. And I just expect it to keep going into this event. Event itself, I would not expect too much from this. It's always hyped up. People FOMO in, and they hope to get something, to hear some kind of crazy announcement. But usually the case with these events, it's always the lead up. That's where you want to be in, and not just buying the day or two before everybody's saying, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. You want to be already in. Yeah, we had more massive partnerships this year, of course. We had PMI Melon, we had Real Finance, another acquisition. So, like I said, if you're instead of competing, Ripple simply is just buying up everything. You're buying up the entire infrastructure to succeed. Here you see Chad Steingraber talking about the Hidden Road acquisition, also a massive acquisition that happened this year in April. And as you can see, the timing is there. Ripple starting to make big moves after the chaos of the lawsuit. The uncertainty uh, started to get removed. This is when the real action is taking place. So Hidden Road also massive. They pay even more than for GTreasury, $1.25 billion. Here we have Crypto Wizard, shout out, XRP times 2. You can see here we have a quite similar fractal here, but that's playing out long-term consolidation. First, the massive pink candles that of course we had, then a very long consolidation pattern. And now with everything that we have going, I would not be surprised at all if this candle is going to happen. It's going to materialize this quarter, guys. So let's see what happens. Then let's move on to my chart, actually, so we can round it up and give you my perspective. What actually happened? We had this crazy, crazy liquidation wicks. This is what pure manipulation is. I believe this was the biggest liquidation event for XRP. As you can see, we traded only a few days before that. We traded actually on $3, which is crazy if you think of it. If you manage to actually buy up here, there's very few people who manage to buy here, but I certainly know that the people who are buying here are the actual institutions. They are the ones who can manipulate these crazy wicks on futures and manage to get the spot price all the way down to forced selling. As you can see, of course, this was a special manipulation week because of all the price glitches and the Oracle situation. But as you can see, it got bought up immediately in the same day. Let me look at our candle. Yeah, in the same hour basically. And then, yeah, we got bought up again. Of course, what always happens, you need some retracement. So this is too much. They buy it up to the order block again, and then the books down there are too empty, and we need some retracement again. So I think we've been to the worst now. You see, XRP acting stronger now than the most of the market, but it looks like, which is no surprise. If you have a Ripple announcing they're actually going to buy, raise $1 billion for the token and going to keep buying up the token. Yeah, so on the shorter time frame, you can see this was the area, of course, before the liquidation. Then you see now we're facing some resistance from this upward sloping trend line. They're rejected. Now this is starting to get some support. This is where we want to see a breakthrough first. So this is an important one. Once we see a breakthrough to this yellow line, we're moving upwards quite quickly. We're going to retest this line again. And you see there's two red lines here. Yeah, here you're facing some resistance. As you can see, this is an area with a lot of points, a lot of touches. And it's just as simple as that. The more touches, the stronger either the support or the resistance. In this case, the resistance. So we need to work above here. To work above this area. So you're talking about 270, 280. At the other, you take out this order block again. And from there out, we should be looking bullish again. We should be, on a positive outlook. And it can go really fast. You know how XRP pumps. It doesn't, it goes all at once. It's very violent. So you cannot time this. You cannot time, let me wait a few weeks and see what happens. You either need to be in with conviction, or you likely miss the case. So that's it with XRP. So I hope this was my first XRP video. XRP is my biggest hold, my biggest conviction, and it's going to be a lot more, of course, from now on. So have a good one. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on XRP. If you think it's going to move this year, and let me know what's going to happen. Be good to talk. Have a good evening.